and welcome back to another episode of the Dream Printing Podcast. I am so excited to really take you behind the scenes of how I plan my business goals and dreams for the new year. A couple years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I created this episode where I went through my KPI dashboard, how I dream and process all of my goals for the new year, and how I set up my business plans and business dreams so that I can grow. And I have two different companies. I have a product-based business, Horacio Printing, very beautiful. I've been making dream planners for the past 11 years. And then I also have a service-based business. I am the creator of Print School, so I empower other people to start their planner, journal, paper snob business. And so I run both of those companies. And so it takes a lot of planning, a lot of scheduling, a lot of intention setting, both in my life and in my business, to run them together and to run my team. And so this is probably the most requested episode I have. I get emails all the time from people who are in my course, people who are from YouTube, people in my inbox that are like, hey, I saw that video from 2 years ago. Do you have a KPI template? Can you take me behind the curtain of how you actually do your dream planning and your goal setting for the new year? And I thought about it. I thought about, should I build a course? Should I host a workshop? How do I want to give this? Do I only want to give this to my Print School students? And I decided, you know what? I'm going to make a free video on YouTube and just let everybody have it because, first off, to be quite honest, I don't have time to build a course. The only course I love and I'm passionate about is Print School 2.0. That is my favorite course. That's where I live. That's where I thrive. I'm obsessed with it. That's the only course I'm going to continue to evolve. I used to have a general business course called the Faith-Filled Business Blueprint. For those of you who've been around for a while, if you know, you know. That course has been retired. And this is kind of a subset of something I would have taught in that course. And so I'm about to give you my most updated, clean version in a 5-step process of exactly how I do it now. And I've been doing this year over year over year. And so I'm going to show you how to do it without wasting time, but to be super effective. So that's what we're doing. I am so excited. This is going to be such a juicy episode because, like I said, this could be an entire course. I have, boiled it all down, and I'm going to give you actual resources. So grab a journal, buckle up, and let's plan for an incredible 2026. All right, you have your journal ready? You have your pencil ready? Are you ready to take notes? Let's do this. Before I dive in, I have an invitation for you, specifically for those of you who want to create a paper product business and you're interested in that. I'm doing a 5-day free challenge, January 12th through the 16th, and you're invited. It's free. You can click right here, HoracioPrinting.com/print. If you want to learn how to print your thing, how to sell it, how to market it, all those things I'm going to be teaching. It's going to be so much fun. You are invited. So make sure you save that link. The link is also below in the description. If you're listening to this video on our podcast, you might want to come hang out with us on YouTube because this is going to be somewhat of a visual educational video. So let's do it. Before I get into step number 1, which you can go ahead and put number 1 on your journal, give you a little backstory of how this came about. I've been dream planning every year. My planner is called The Dream Planner, and I love dream planning in my life, and obviously I love doing it in my business. I used to host dream planning parties, which turned into this epic dream planning summits. We had incredible speakers back in 2019, 2020, 2021. We had Christine Kane and Dawntree Wilkerson. We'd host these big 3-day events that have incredible speakers from around the world, and a couple CEOs got invited to my event. And from that, we really birthed the CEO retreat, which is kind of more of an in-person event where we'd sit and really plan our businesses together. Because honestly, just like everything in life, it's kind of nice not to do it alone. That's why I started the dream planning parties, because it's so nice to do your dreams together, make your vision boards together, which I have my vision board there hiding behind that pot. I have a lot more flowers in my office right now because our house is decorated for Christmas. And I just brought all the plants in my room to decorate my room while Christmas is all over my house. Anyways, so the CEO retreat was born. And from there, we started, working on our process of how we like to process everything, how we like to dream together, and how I really enjoyed helping to streamline that process so we could ingest data and make really good data-driven decisions. We're going to talk a lot about data today because I'm such a data nerd. I love spreadsheets. And if you would have told Polly in high school that she was going to be obsessed with spreadsheets, because I almost went to college for fine arts. That's really where I love art. But I think there is art in spreadsheets. There really is. There's a connection there. I'm also a big fan of calculators, and spreadsheets kind of connect those two things together. They are an artistic calculator, and you don't have to worry about making the mistake and then it's all on you because you calculated something wrong. The spreadsheet does it for you. So I've always loved dream planning, and truly your life, like dream planning your bucket list in your life and what you want that to look like, and dream planning your business and what you want that to look like, they kind of go hand in hand. And so it's really nice to do this in Q4, which is why I'm releasing this video in Q4 of 2025. You can also take some time in January to do this. It's okay. Anytime is a good time to get organized, get your data set, and start tracking. So without further ado, we're going to go through the 5 things that I think are critical to do in your own business dream planning session. So we're really talking about how to dream, how to plan in your business. And these are the 5 things that I would absolutely take you through if I had time to do this with you, which I totally wish I did right now. That's just not in my capacity. So that's why we're doing a free YouTube video. You're welcome. Okay. So step 1, the most critical thing that you need to do at the very beginning is to look at your historical KPIs. KPIs stands for key performance indicators, numbers that help you understand how you're doing and how you did historically. And this is the same for a product-based business and a service-based business. And I will go through, there are some nuances where things are different based on what type of company you have, but it is important to look at those numbers. So for any type of business, that'd be top line revenue and sales by product or by offer. You're going to want to look at your channels. So when I say channels, I mean your Instagram following, your email list, your podcast downloads, like any channel that you are using to market your products and services. We're going to want to keep track of that. Are they growing? Is your email list growing? Is it shrinking? And it's really, really helpful for your brain to look at the data and see your growth. Even if you only grew 10 followers, I grew 10 new email subscribers. My SMS list grew by 15. It's really helpful for your brain to see those incremental changes. Why? Why does it matter? Why do I need to waste time doing a KPI sheet? It really helps your brain to stay steady, because let me tell you, entrepreneur life is bumpy. There are roller coasters. So you already have enough roller coasters in life because life will be lifing sometimes. You know what I mean? It's lifing. And so that we don't spiral and only make emotional driven decisions, which we're all guilty of. Right? I don't feel like it. This doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know if this is working. Like, it's really helpful to see those numbers. So this is a template of a KPI sheet that is very simple. It's got service-based business and product-based business numbers below. And guess what? I have bundled all the sheets for you. I've got a KPI sheet, and we're going to go through the other sheets together, and I will tell you where you can find these if you want to snag mine that already have the math in it. It's already built. So what we do is I sit down and I look at my KPIs, and I did this for 2025. I looked at every single product, every single offer, every single piece of my funnel, because I have different machines that I use, or some people might call them, I guess, just general funnels or strategies that you use. I also looked at my events, like how did Black Friday go? How did the summer sale go? How did the 4th of July sale go? How did my 5-day challenge go for my product, my service-based business? You want to look at those events. How did my birthday sale go? How did that code, did it work well? Because you want to look and see, well, how did it actually work? Because sometimes you can, your memory and your feelings don't always give you an accurate decision, right? Like sometimes just like rose-colored glasses of the past, you can go, I don't even think that worked last year. And then you go and you're like, oh, actually, like it did work. Let me look at the data. And so it's really important to keep track of it. So here's the homework. If you have not been keeping a KPI sheet in 2025, you need to go back and get your data. Even if it's just an aggregate of like maybe where you started and where you ended, ideally it's month by month by month how things went. How many sales did I get in January, February, March, April? Sometimes it's hard to get that for, let's say, your email list. It's hard to go and see, well, how was my email list, depending on what software you're using. Sometimes it's hard to get those kind of data, but hopefully you can. And so filling in that spreadsheet to see what are the trends. You might notice that Q4 is your biggest month or summer is your biggest month. And you'll start to notice your customer behavior and what things worked. The goal is whatever's working, let's do more of that. It sounds so simple, but it really is so powerful. So we don't just get in our feelings and go, I think I'm failing. I don't think this is working. We can actually look at the data. So that is number one. And I highly recommend, there's a fantastic book that I love, and it's called The Pumpkin Plan. It's a great book. It really kind of helps you because at the beginning of starting a business, you really are just planting a lot of pumpkins to figure out which pumpkin is going to be the big pumpkin that you can then put resources to. I love Mike Michalowicz. He is incredible. He's also fun as an audiobook. So thank me later, go read this book. But I'll just conclude. Step one is looking at your historical KPIs. The big takeaway for this is to learn the truth of data over drama. I actually learned this from Haley Burkhead. I took some of her trainings and really learned a lot of her sales psychology and funnel information years ago. And that was something that really helped click for me. It's really important to stay focused on the data so that you don't get pulled into the drama. And let me say, with entrepreneur life, you're putting your heart into this, it's vulnerable, it's a lot. And so the more you can stay connected to the data to make data-driven decisions, data over drama, you will be good. That's important because everything, even if, I failed, that didn't work, it's not a failure, it's a data point. So let's not do that again. That's okay. Everything is a learning opportunity for you to see what's working and what's not. And sometimes it's scary. I'm scared to test out this new offer. I'm scared to test out this new sales coupon code for my customers. Okay, well, how about we think about that being a testing point? We're testing. Like you're kind of like a scientist in a lab, like what's going to work? And then when things don't work, it doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that is a data point and that didn't work. And we will not do that again. So there you go. That's number one. Another piece of that historical KPI review is also looking at your profit and costs. So not only what money you made and what worked, but also the profitability, which is important. If you are not doing this in your business and you were alive in your business last year, 2025, 2024, you should be keeping record keeping through some sort of QuickBooks, an online software that's connected to your bank account so that every income and every expense is tracked and you can see that tally of what is my profit and loss for the business. And if you need help getting started on that and you need to see it visually, I have an incredible template and I use this for many years. It's basically the top section is money in. So you can track the money in and then you can track your money out. Basically everything you're spending money on. You've got maybe a virtual assistant or customer service support person. You've got, subscriptions if you're, using Shopify or ConvertKit or Flowdesk. If you're shipping out to customers, that's a variable expense that changes based on sales. All of those outputs of expenditures and then seeing what's my profit looking like. And I love to do this not only historically, but then that helps you really plan your budget for next year. Okay, so that is number one, historical KPI review. And that's a juicy section, a very juicy section, because as you sit and process it, there's so many stories to pull out. And that's going to help you dream and be realistic for the next year of what you can do, what's going to work, and what you're going to test out. So that's number one. That's absolutely important. And if you skip that, I don't know what to tell you. Don't skip it. All right, number two is reflection and dream planning. This is definitely my favorite part and something I actually added into our retreat this year that we hadn't done as in depth in the years previous. Unfortunately, this year I was actually remote to my CEO retreat with my buddies, which was a super bummer to be remote, but I still really, really enjoyed this reflection. And I think you can also enjoy just doing it alone. I actually ended up taking my worksheets that I built for the CEO retreat, or at least the reflection section that I added in, and I did them with my husband. I sat down and we looked at it and we were like, look at all the things that happened this year. So anyways, let me show you what I meant by that. What I think is really cool to do in your reflection time is to sit and think about the year and say, okay, what happened? What am I thankful for? What were some of the hard lessons that I learned? And then to actually map out what happened every single month of the year. Like in January, what happened professionally and personally? In February, what happened professionally and personally? Like what were you doing in your business and what was happening in your life? Because life is lifing, and I have 2 young kids. Things happen, and then it's like, oh my gosh, what a whirlwind, And so I did this for my whole year, and then I sat with my husband, and we did it for the past 3 years to really just sit and look at our life and how much we're adding into our life. And it's so important when you're dreaming, this is whether you have a business or not, to look backwards. Because if we don't reflect on what we're doing and really take inventory of that, how are we going to create a new future? Because, spoiler alert, if you're new here, your life is your canvas. You are an artist because you are created in the image of God. Your life is your canvas. You have the paintbrush. And yes, the Lord is so important, and your paintbrush is never going to fully color the way it needs to without Jesus, without the Lord, but you have free will. You can design your life. I actually mapped this out, like my whole life. This was 2025, 2024, 2023. We sat down and looked at this, and it took me a while. I had to scroll back through my phone to remember everything and when it happened, and then I went back through my business of everything and what happened, and we sat and we really took inventory of this, wow, look at all this, the good, the bad, the ugly. And then as you do that deep reflection, personal and professional, and then pray, it is just illuminating it was illuminating for me. I'll share my personal experience. It was illuminating for me of how much I try to stuff into my life. And if you've seen my video about the Lord this year telling me I'm carrying too many rocks, which is a great video. Go watch it. It actually kind of connects to when life feels heavy, and really my word of the year for 2026. It was just really eye-opening. I am a recovering people pleaser. I am someone who gets FOMO. I want to do all the things. And it was just really eye-opening how much we try to fill in our lives. And also life happens to you, things happen that are completely out of your control. And so it was just really eye-opening, and then also very, very helpful as I dreamt for 2026. And hopefully it's helpful for you as you dream for 2026. All right, here's what last year looked like. Do we want any of this again? Are we doing this again? What do we want to keep? What are we not doing again? And it's just so incredible. So I did add these reflection pages, and I'm going to go ahead and share with you. I have this full business dream planning bundle for you. It comes with the reflection pages. It comes with the full KPI template and all the spreadsheets that I love that I've handcrafted. And it's all available right here at HoracioPrinting.com/bundle. If you are a print school student, you can get this bundle for free. If not, it is a paid bundle. I did spend quite a lot of time building this. And so there it is. It's for you. It also comes with some trainings in the front tab of the Google Sheet to help you set up an audit and augment these spreadsheets to fit what you need. But that's available for you. So that's number 2, reflecting and dreaming. Deep reflection, personal and professional, having time to pray and really dream over who do I want to become and what do I want this year to look like. That is such a beautiful part. It's probably my favorite part. Obviously, you can take time in this retreat to fill out your dream planner, to craft a vision board, which I have all of my products at Horacio Printing. If you want to go grab a planner, there is a QR code in the planner that takes you to a full course to set up the planner, which is fabulous. And that's free. It comes with the planner purchase. Oh, and we have a code right now. The code is New Year. If you go to our website, it'll be plastered everywhere. So grab the code, make sure you get the 15% off. So that's number 2. Number 3 is probably one of my favorite parts. And it's really, really telling. It's a lot, just like the KPI sheet, it can be a lot to get started. But once you have it built, it's really, really helpful, especially if you're a visual learner. And that is a funnel audit. And I don't mean just one funnel. Like I know people teach like, oh, I've got a webinar and this is a funnel, or you should have a freebie and that's your funnel. Like that's not your full funnel. I'm talking about your full funnel. So let's talk about funnels a little bit just to get a little quick education. If you already know everything about a funnel, just consider this a friendly reminder. So here is your funnel. The top of funnel is really where you have all the the prospective customers. This is the place where you're adding people into this is your ecosystem. So up top is where you're casting your net. This is where all the marketing happens, all the prospecting marketing happens. And then people get in your funnel, and this is where education happens. Mid-funnel is your website. It's where you're taking people and nurturing them. Nurture marketing, you're putting them through an email sequence. You're maybe getting on a phone call with them or doing video ask or DMing on Instagram. You're connecting with them, building trust, like no trust. That's a good one. But anyways, mid-funnel is where you're educating. Because really, this might feel like, ooh, sales funnel. Ooh, I hate sales. And I talk about that a lot. Sales is just education. You're just letting them understand, is this a good fit or not, period. It's just being a good waiter and taking the order if they want to eat at your restaurant. The reason it's higher up top is because a lot of people join your funnel, but not everybody makes it down to the bottom. And that's okay. That's not a fail. Down at the bottom is where they make a decision, and that's where they purchase. Now, the sad thing is a lot of people will join your funnel, and if your funnel is not built right and it's janky and messed up, people will go into your funnel and go, wee, and just fall right out. So we don't want that. We want people to go in your funnel and go all the way down. And the way they do that is if your funnel is not broken, if it's clear, not clunky, and also it's not so long to get to the bottom. We want it to be as easy as possible to get down here to some sort of checkout page where you're either selling your offer or you're selling your product, that sort of thing. So from the top to the bottom, when you sit down to really map out your funnel, you're able to see, where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your energy? Where is your team spending their time and energy? And so you can sit and go, man, do I even want that in my funnel anymore? Does this make sense to keep spending my time on Pinterest? Does this make sense to keep spending my time blogging? Does this make sense to keep spending my time on YouTube? Like, are people going from my YouTube videos to actually making, is it worth my time? And that's the beauty of testing. Like, we're always testing things in our funnel, but it's so important that you audit your funnel. That way you can actually track the data to make decisions of where you want to spend your time moving forward. Was this a good investment of my time? Was this a good investment of the person I hired to set up my Pinterest ads? Like, did that pan out? So the funnel audit is really critical. So how do you do this? What you do is you're going to have to draw out your funnel. You can build it in Canva. That's where I built mine. But honestly, I recommend just starting with a drawing. So draw yourself a funnel, and I'm going to pretend that your name is Sarah, and you have a planner business, and Sarah is trying to sell planners on sarahsplanners.com at the bottom of her funnel. So where are you spending time right now? Typically, for someone to purchase, they have to come to your website. So your website is a key piece of your funnel. They go to your website and then they purchase the product, right? So what are the other ways that you're getting people to your website? How are you getting people to your website? One of those ways that you're sending people to your website is off of your email list. So I would draw the email list. And the email list you're marketing to your website. And guess what? Some people land on your website and they get on your email list, right? Those kind of, they connect together. And then how are you getting people on your email list? Well, you're probably running some freebies, off of Instagram. You're trying to go from Instagram to your email list. Or maybe you also have a YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel, you're constantly telling people to go join your email list. And you're also telling people to go to your website. So see how this starts to build like the chain? It's so important. If your funnel is wild and messy, and on your Instagram, you're sending people to 50 different places, your funnel is going to be a mess. It's going to be complex. And what happens is sometimes we're sending people, if you don't audit this regularly enough, you're sending people to a link that doesn't even exist anymore, or to a 404. And what happens is if we send people to bad places, guess what? They all fall out of our funnel. And so with your funnel, if you could catch one thing today, simplicity scales, complexity kills. When you go to a place and it's got a menu that's 50 pages long, it's hard to pick out what you want. But when you go to a fancy restaurant and it's a beautiful prefix menu and it's super clean and there's only 3 options per course, it's easy. It feels luxury. And so we want to think about our funnel and cleaning it up, and then also make sure we don't have any loose, janky things that are letting people go, man, this company doesn't seem legit. You lose trust when your funnel is messed up. So leaky leads, we don't want that. Bad funnel, bad experience, you're leaking leads, which means you're leaking money, which means you can't grow, which means you can't hire more people to help you, grow. Because typically as a business owner, your biggest bottleneck is you and your capacity. So you're going to need to build your funnel, right? So up top would be all the marketing channels, and then where do they go? Same thing with your service-based business. Like if you're running an ad to a workshop, and then that workshop goes to an email sequence, and then that email sequence tries to sell people to buy the product, well, that's great. Just draw that out. What happens here? And then also, it's good to look and see, well, how many people joined that email thing and then never signed up? They're sitting over here. Wow, there's 800 people sitting over here. Maybe I could remessage them. Maybe I could retarget them. The goal is to always, if people are falling out of your funnel, we want to be strategic on how to get them back in. So there you go. That's your funnel lesson. Draw out your funnel. And here's what I want you to do once you have it drawn. I would like you to have a different color, and for you to really look at every line. Is this working? And also, go to your website and check it. If someone came to your website, is it clear? Is it confusing? Are there a bunch of 404 pages on your website? You want to audit the navigation bar and all the pages of your website to make sure You're not leaking anywhere. So that's a huge thing to do. It's just a good, clean thing. Sometimes it's nice to hire someone to help audit, fresh eyes that can give you their perspective and their input. And then make a list and fix those things that need to be fixed. Sometimes we want to build a new section of our funnel, which is great. Test something new. That's fantastic. But it's so important for you to have an honest look of what your funnel is right now and what needs to be removed. And if you take away something from your funnel, you want to make sure you're not leaving any leaky spots or holes where someone could find that link and then fall out of your funnel and then lose trust. Because there's nothing worse than like listening to something or watching a video, you go to that link doesn't exist anymore. It's like, you've lost somebody. So we want to make sure that we are redirecting to our most updated resources and things like that. So that is number 3. And if you could get anything from that, remember, simplicity scales. Now, once you have your funnel, this is going to help you understand what do you need to track on your KPI sheet. For example, if you are using YouTube to drive to your email list, well, let's start tracking your YouTube views. Or if you're using Instagram, let's track your Instagram followers. If you're, using that email list, how's your email list growing month over month? What's your open rate? So your funnel and how you get people from the top to the bottom, this is the data points you want to track. All right. Number 4, this is really important. This is part of dreaming, but dreaming with data. Number 4 is your projection. Creating a projection sheet to help you see where you could land in the next year based off how you did last year and also based off of the marketing events that you want to have this year. So what kind of sales you want to have. Maybe you are building a new funnel. You plan to put that out in the summer. You're hoping that brings X number of sales. So you're going to build this out. I have a product-based business projection sheet template for you, which basically allows you to put in the names of your products, the price of your products, and then you basically estimate, project, and guess how many of those products you're going to sell every month, and that gives you an estimate on the revenue you're going to drive. Yay! It also has a calculator at the bottom that lets you see the shipping and fulfillment costs based on that. Because as your sales rise, your costs rise. And so it's important to kind of look at that and plan for it, be prepared. And then I also have a projection sheet that is chef's kiss beautiful. Not so much beautiful, but wildly helpful for service-based businesses. So if you are doing like coaching or you have a course, it helps you to put in the names of your offers, the price of your offer, whether you do pay in full or payment plan, and how many months is your payment plan, and then what percent of people typically buy pay in full versus payment plan. For some people, it's 50-50. For some people, 90% do the payment plan. It just depends. So you put that data in, and then you're able to every month put in how many sales you guess that you're going to get, and it gives you a projection number. So from there, you can look at that and go, wow, okay, if everything stays the same, this is where I'm going to land. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to do that. And you can kind of play in this sandbox in that sheet. But that's important. You don't have to have my projection sheet to accomplish this. You can absolutely build your own. But I do think it's so helpful to be empowered, which is why I wanted to film this video and get these tools in your hands. So that's number 4, to build your projection sheet for the new year. And then last but not least, go ahead and build out your 2026 KPI sheet. I would duplicate your 2025 sheet that you've updated and it's all ready to go. And then just zero out all of the data for 2026 and then add in any really important data as it relates to your funnel and how you're going to take people in the new year from top of funnel to purchasing. And that's what you want to be tracking. That's what you want to keep your eye on. Your KPI sheet is basically like the scoreboard of your business. If you're playing soccer, but you never look at the scoreboard, you're not going to know how you're doing. You're just going to go off your emotions. I think I'm doing good. The audience is cheering. I feel good this week, so I'm doing good. Or maybe you're doing great, but you feel bad. You know what I mean? Like you don't feel like you're doing good. The scoreboard tells the truth, which is why we need to have one, keep it updated, and then also look at it. So there you go, data over drama. I am so excited to equip you with this. Again, you can get this entire bundle at horacioprinting.com/bundle. And I hope that this has helped you get a clear view of where you want to go and also what's realistic so that you can stay focused. And I really hope that the reflection and dream planning section that we talked about in step 2 helps you to really catch a vision for what you want to create in this next year of life. Every day is such a gift. God is so good. And I pray that this blesses you and helps you. And again, if you want to come into my program, where I can help you specifically with a product-based business in printing your thing, I have a challenge for you right here, horacioprinting.com/print. And if you want to learn more just about print school and check out our incredible alumni students and all the other companies that have started their printing company, which this is a lot of my students right here, you can go to dreamprinting.co and check out all of their incredible stories and learn more about this program. So there you go. I hope you have a beautiful and happy new year. God bless you.